Joshua, thank you. With record early voting turnout, the primary election results are in. More than 2 million voters across Georgia cast their ballots in the election to decide key primaries that could shape November's election landscape. And yes, there will be runoffs. Okay, so this is what we're learning. The former mayor of Atlanta will win her party's nomination for Georgia's next governor. Keisha Lance Bottoms, the only candidate who avoided a runoff. Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones and billionaire Rick Jackson will head into a runoff election scheduled for June 16th. The head-to-head contest will pit two candidates against each other who have aggressively vied for the support of President Donald Trump's base in Georgia. Georgia's Republican race for U.S. Senate officially headed to a runoff as well. CBS News projects Congressman Mike Collins and former college football coach Derek Dooley will advance after no candidate secured more than 50% of the vote. The winner will go on to face Democratic Senator Jon Ossoff in November. Our Kaylee Fedko breaks down what voters need to know from the Capitol.
It was one of the most closely watched races on Georgia's primary ballot, and now the GOP battle for Senate enters a new phase. Congressman Mike Collins finished ahead of the pack, while Derek Dooley narrowly edged out Congressman Buddy Carter to lock in the second runoff spot. Republicans see Georgia as one of their best chances to flip a Senate seat in 2026, making this runoff critical for the party nationally. Congressman Collins built his campaign around his close alignment with President Trump and conservative policies on immigration and border security. Meanwhile, Derek Dooley, the former University of Tennessee football coach and son of legendary Georgia coach Vince Dooley, leaned on support from Governor Brian Kemp and pitched himself as a political outsider.
They didn't want an outsider, they want an insider, because they're all in bed together, and that's why we were attacked before I was even announced as a candidate. It wasn't because their ideas were better. It wasn't because they were better equipped to represent the Georgia people. We were attacked because we were a threat to what's going on up there in D.C.
Now, with the Republican primary headed to a runoff next month, attention turns to who can unite GOP voters ahead of a high-stakes showdown against incumbent Senator Jon Ossoff this fall. We'll send it back to the studio with more on some of the night's pivotal races and analysis.
Kaylee, thank you. And here to help us break down those key takeaways is Emory political science professor Dr. Anja Gillespie. Thank you so much and welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are going to start talking about Keisha Lance Bottoms, which surprised a lot of people. A decisive win overnight. Huge moment for her.
Yeah, big moment. If you look at the county totals, she only lost one county, and most of the counties she won with a clear majority of the vote. So this was a very decisive win.
And for her, do we think it was just because there was no clear second when it came to the Democratic side, and that votes were really divided amongst, Estevez and Thurman, and it just continued on for people that did not support Keisha Lance Bottoms?
Well, even if you add those up, she still wins with a clear majority. One of the things that if you look at the county votes is that the other candidates tended to do well in the Atlanta media market, right? And so this could be one, a lot of these folks are based here in the Atlanta area, right? It could also be questions about whether or not you liked how Keisha Lance Bottoms ran the city of Atlanta as mayor. And so what it seems like is that the other candidates didn't necessarily do as good a job of getting their name out in other parts of the state. You can look at other places where Mike Thurman actually does do well outside of Metro Atlanta, but she had the statewide operation, and so that certainly worked to her benefit.
I mean, it's a statewide race, so yes, which brings us to our second point here, talking about Burt Jones and Rick Jackson. Headed to a runoff in June. Couple things here. Money, a big factor. We know that Rick Jackson's ads were absolutely everywhere, but then also Burt Jones endorsed by the president. But Rick Jackson very much aligned with the president. Your thoughts there?
Well, I mean, it was not surprising at all that a candidate would try to align themselves with President Trump. If we looked at primary voters in the state, the AJC poll suggests that 2/3 of them actually strongly approve of the job that President Trump is doing. So you couldn't run against the Trump machine and expect to be able to do well in a Republican primary. And those who were perceived to be anti-Trump, even though they tried to align themselves with Trump, like Brad Raffensperger, didn't fare well in this particular primary. So What you could see right now is that Rick Jackson, by presenting himself as another Trump-like figure, even without the endorsement, was able to make traction amongst Republican voters.
Absolutely did. Okay, and finally here, let's talk about Mike Collins and Derek Dooley, also headed for a runoff here. What should we be looking out for over these next 3 weeks with them?
We should be looking to see in particular what the strength of Brian Kemp's organization will be.
Yeah.
So I think that was a question going into the runoff about whether or not Derek Dooley was going to be able to supplant Buddy Carter. He proved to be able to do that, and so now we're going to see that Kemp machine kind of go into overdrive to try to propel Derek Dooley to the nomination.
All right, we'll see what happens come June. Thank you so much for joining us, and your analysis, as always, is very much appreciated. Everybody, these election results can be a lot to take in, and we have made it easy for you. You can see the 2026 Georgia primary election results from key local races, and you can just download the free CBS News app. And Dr. Gillespie, thank you again for joining us.